Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the Monday painting video. Now the Monday painting video from last week's Weekly Wednesday, which is a Q&A, I show you guys a host of models and you guys vote on what you want me to paint for the Monday's painting video. So for all my regulars here guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so we had two votes on this bad boy this week. One of the votes actually was any NID to be painted, which I've only got Swarmlord, a Hive Tyrant and a Lictor glued up at the moment. That was actually in the vote. And there was another vote for one of the big NIDs. So I said, okay, I'll take this guy because I've got a great plan with this guy and I'm looking forward to implementing it. So all I've done, I undercoated it Chaos Black and then gave it a Gracia Prime, but not the whole thing. If you look at his foot, it's all dark there because I wanted to give it some shade. Some of it here is all dark. So I'm going to go straight in with contrast paint before I even set a wet palette up or anything like that. The reason why I'm opting for the contrast paint, because of the way that Tyranids are, they're a big swarm army. Like for example, I have 48 termagants to build. To build one or two on camera and then just build the rest off camera. I'm not going to sit there with a brush and paint all 48 of them. So for me, I want something that's quick and easy. Contrast paint's brilliant. Or the airbrush. But something that's quick and easy and I can just reproduce very quickly across a vast amount of models. Now with like the Swarmlord here, he is, you know, a character model, HQ choice. So I want him to be a little bit special. So he'll have a bit more detail, a bit more work done on him. But the basic colour structure I'm going to go for is going to be copied across all the Tyranid models. Okay. I want to try and go a little bit outside of my comfort zone with a few colours, just because I want it to be, I don't want to be stuck on the same sort of palette every week, every video, and just do them in different ways. I want to try and do some different colours on this guy. So I'm going to get some paints ready and I'll come back to you in a minute. Now, so I've got my first contrast paint I'm going to use, but this is going to be an honourable mention now, because I was going to use Gilliman Flesh on the skin parts, and then when that's dry, come over with like a purple wash and start to bring it that way. But I thought, no, I won't do that. I'm going to start with Tyranid Blue. Some people are going to say, oh, but you've used that before, and yeah, but I know, but I'm going to try and do it in a sort of different way. I'm going to paint all of the carapace, yeah, all of these armoured pieces on him with the contrast blue, with the Tyranid Blue, all the little spikes on him and all of that. Now I don't paint like this. I'm going to paint this one section and paint this one section. I'm just giving you a quick idea what I'm going to do. So like all these little bits here. Yeah, I'm going to go off camera and do all of those. So here we are so far. So you see it's still really wet. What I'm doing is making sure it doesn't pour on the way down because it's flat carapace. If there's little bits like a little bit there, see it on the top, the base of that, it's got a little bit white. Then I'll just grab the paint and just push it back over. That's all I'm doing for a minute, just making sure I don't miss anything. I've done one under there as well. These little two horns on his chin and his chest piece and all this leg armour. So now I'm going to leave that to dry and then I'm going to come with the next colour. So here's how it is fully dry. All I've done is got a brush and go around and just make sure there's no little white bits sticking through, and there's some lovely strong blue on there. So the next colour I'm going to do, I'm going to take this lovely colour, which is Phosphorus Pink. Now I used this on the other models not so long ago. I think it's last week's painting in Space Marine, just to do some gems and stuff, and it looked fantastic. So now I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to do all the skin and all this like bones and stuff. Yeah. Oh look, what I've missed. The plating on these legs there. But anyway, I'm going to crack on with this colour. I'm going to get in and do all this bone work here, all the skin, but I'm going to leave the hooks and the spikes on the back of his legs. Yeah, I'm going to leave all those. I'm going to come in with this pink and just get this on all the skin areas. I'm going to come back to you when I've done that, because you don't see me to do that on this model. So you can see, with two simple contrast colours, look what we've achieved. 1 second, it's a bit, there we go, it's a bit better. Just two simple contrast colours. Now the pink, this one isn't dry yet on the skin. But now I'm going to go with some skeleton horde, and here we go. Now this is going to be a nice little break up. So what I'm going to hit is things like this, like just the spikes coming out, the hilt of the sword, the handle of the sword. I'm going to leave the blade of the sword, bone sword, alone. These horns here on the tops of his feet. Let me get these. Now you don't need to see me do all this on camera. The bills on his tail as well. I'm going to go off camera and do all this and then come back to you when I've done it. So here's where we're at. Yeah, so now I'm going to come with some magenta, Doomfire magenta, sorry, contrast paint, and this is going on the weapons. Just going to do one blade and then go off camera and do the rest. Just give you an idea how magnificent this colour is. Yeah. So I'm going to go off camera and do the rest of them now. I love that colour. Just to give you a sneak peek, the red's not dry yet on the swords. And the skin's still not dry yet, but you can see how it's coming along very nicely. Just have to wait for the magenta, the Doomfire magenta to dry. Again, I've got the brush here, so I can just, if any bits start to pull in certain areas, and just pull them away. And make sure, as the contrast paint's drying and doing its stuff, it's not revealing any bits of white that I can have to go over. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes to dry. It's still drying, so it's holding where I want to. So now I'm going to come with some Eldari Emerald. I wasn't going to, but I said, you know what, only one last little bit to add on to this, so I might as well do it. And there's these little sacks. I'm going to paint these little sacks with Eldari Emerald, making sure I get rid of all the little white bits so there's no white glacier showing through. Okay, I'm just going to do these two and then go to the other two off camera. Just be very careful because there's so many little nooks and crannies. Just keep turning the model around so you can see every little bit, make sure you haven't missed anything. So I'm going to go camera to the other two. Sneak little look. So instantly, what the Eldari Emerald has done has broken up the arms on the model. So not only do you have the skeleton horde, like bone work on it, you have the green, then you have the pink, you have the blue, and you have the magenta red. It's amazing. I love this red. I just don't think this light's doing it much justice. But it is a fantastic red. On the camera it looks really bright and reddy orangey colour, but it's not. It's actually, wow, it's just such an amazing colour. Anyway, I'm going to let the final bits of this dry, but for all intensive purposes, this is about ready. Okay, you can put it on the table and away you go. what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it to the next stage. So I'm going to leave it dry for a few minutes, probably 10, and then come back and start taking it to the next stage. Well, it's not quite dry yet, but the blue is. So we're going to start with the blue. I've got some Lothern blue on my brush, and I'm going to go for a dry brush. I'm going to get all these raised areas. So like these top of these tubules, and are they called tubules? The top of these top pieces? I'm not sure. All these little bone spike parts. And what I'm going to do is, where the plates are, I'm going to go against the plates to give me a nice edge on the plates. Okay. Same again on the tubules, just make sure I'm trying to get the top of it so it's all really bright. You can see the difference between the middle one there and the bottom one. Green bit there. Now see, this is where it gets tricky because you've got the little bits on the arms like that. You have a little touch up, not too much because it is a very tricky bit to get into. These bits on the legs, again, just keep doing that. And I'm waffling away. What I'm going to do is to go off camera and just dry brush the rest of this with the Lothern blue. Now I'm going to go with some pink horror. It's a layer paint as well, so I'm going to just get some on the tissue here. And I'm going to come in like here, to these raised areas here. And there's still a little bit magenta on there, a little bit, the other colour. It's a bit of a pain. Okay, just try and get these areas like this. A quick dry brush. Not only that, with this dry brush, it's going to make it look nice. But if there's any little spots of white that I've missed, it'll blend in and just really get rid of it for me. So like here, on this collarbone bit, just in there, there's a few bits of white. I'm going to come in with the pink and dry brush it. See, it's still wet. Damn it. Still very wet. Now I'm going to leave it for a minute or two. Well, say a minute, another 10 minutes or so to dry. And I'll come back and I'll try this step again. That pink is pink horror. Okay, if anyone's wondering. Right, so I made a bit of boo-boo there. I forgot to press play on the camera, and I started dry brushing the pink horror on. And there was a few little pockets that were still wet. So it sort of turned in from a dry brush to sort of wet blend. Still going to get the same sort of effect, but it's just not going to be the way that I was aiming for. There's two things, I'm not going to do anything else to this now because I think I've gone too much, but there's two things I could do. I could take some Niblet green and dry brush the sacks. Again, I'm not going to do that now, but I could do that later date. Now with the pink, I could come back here at a later date and just give it a quick dry brush here and there, mainly across the ribs and the bony, really bony structures on him with the pink horror. I'm not going to do that now because there's still, you can see that it's still shiny and it's still wet. It's literally just to the side of the head, look, it's all wet. Oh well. Now with the bone swords and the bit on the top of his head, I was thinking of maybe getting some, I say blood red, I don't know why I'm thinking blood red, but like corn red or something, and just edge highlighting. Yeah, or get some corn red on the wet palette, or even some Wastaka red actually, come to think of it. Just along the edges of that. Maybe we put a little bit of white scars and mix it on the wet palette and just edge highlight this bone swords. Now I don't know. I don't want to do it and it looks bad. But when you guys have a look and you tell me what you think. If you think I should edge highlight that with the Wastaka red, then I'll go ahead and do that. If you think I should, well, if you, the pink on it, look, from what I can see, it looks great, but it's just, I don't think the camera's picking up too great. You can see it on that part of muscle there. Yeah, really sticking out nicely. But anyway, we're dropping him. The only other thing I need to do to this model apart from that is just get some stooling drab across the base there, because I forgot to do that at the beginning. Just, you know, there's such a haste and rush to get this model done. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, it's helpful in any way, please subscribe to the channel. It costs you absolutely nothing, but helps the channel out in a massive way. And turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. For everyone else, thank you for the support so far. Absolutely fantastic. I think at this time we're 495, I think, subscribers, which is absolutely brilliant. Thank you, guys. I'm going to bring you down and show you some pretty pictures, and hopefully the pictures, when they translate, will actually do the model justice. But until next time, guys, oh, thank you for voting as well. But until next time, take it easy.